Okay, I've seen a lot of workout plans online, and the majority of them seem to be really focused on people that are in their 20s that have never been hurt. They've never been tired and have never had to schedule their life around a spouse, 3 kids, and a business. And here's something that most people in fitness just don't tell you. It's a terrible way to train, but the way that people in their 40s are forced to train is actually the best way to train at any age. I'm 42, I lost over 60 pounds, and I rebuilt my body after a shoulder surgery. And I'll be stepping on a physique competition stage in 1 year. So if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, I've got some great news for you. Here's why everyone should be training like they're in their 40s. First, let me be very clear what lift in your 40s does not mean. It does not mean that you're just gonna be lifting really lightweight. You still need to be pushing yourself on every single set. It does not mean coasting. You should be uncomfortable every workout. It does not mean avoiding effort. You can't expect big changes with little effort, period. Now, here's what it does mean. It does mean we are going to reduce the risk of injury through proper form. We get rid of all of the ego lifting. And then number 2, you're gonna be building habits now, habits that are going to carry for the rest of your life. It's gonna take all of the guesswork of how are you going to build muscle or just maintain your muscle. Most people, like myself, in their 20s, lift the wrong way. And then you scramble to relearn how to do it all correctly. Let's skip that step and start doing it the right way from the very beginning. And it's going to establish that consistency that survives life. And that is what this video is all about. So let's talk about something that I like to call the recovery tax. In your 20s, you can grind through it for a while, but eventually that bill will come due. Sleep, stress, age, all reduce your recovery capacity. Training 4 days a week properly and getting the right amount of recovery is going to beat the guy who's going to the gym 6, 7 days a week with no recovery. So for me, the most effective way for working out is 3 days on, 1 day off. You always give yourself that day for your body to recover. I was always taught you just gotta keep training, keep going, no days off, you gotta be working out. But the ironic part of the whole thing is you need those recovery days because that is when your muscle gets repaired and you actually build muscle. If you are neglecting your recovery days, you are neglecting all of the effort that you are actually putting in when you're at the gym. Now let's talk about the 12 to 16 rule. And the science is settled on this. Most fitness influencers won't tell you about it because it hurts selling their program. 10 to 20 hard sets per week, per muscle group is the sweet spot for muscle growth. So for the average people like me and you, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at 12 to 16 hard sets per muscle group every single week. That is the target. So let's do the math on this. 3 to 4 exercises per muscle group, 3 to 4 sets each, 60 to 90 seconds rest in between sets, and you have 12 to 16 hard sets all within an hour. When you hit that volume consistently, you grow. When you don't, you don't. And listen, if you want real results with anything in life, you have to put in the time and you have to put in the effort. You cannot expect big changes with little effort. It doesn't work that way. Because sure, 15 minutes of working out is better than nothing, but that's such a low bar. But by the time you noticed any sort of difference, you've given up by then. And so you have to just know that you're going to be working out for those 45 minutes to an hour and that you're going to be putting in the effort in each one of those sessions, and then you're going to see the real results that you're absolutely looking for. And the 12 to 16 rule only works if you're actually pushing yourself on those 12 to 16 sets. And what does that mean? I'm talking hard. You should have maybe 1 to 3 reps left in your set before you're giving up. You should be questioning on that last rep or two if you're gonna actually be able to get the weight up. And that's when you know you are training properly and efficiently. Spending a bunch of time scrolling your phone, ego lifting, sloppy form, none of these count towards your 12 to 16. And there's a lot of guys that are at the gym for 2, 3, 4 hours, and I see it a lot when I go. They're there, but they are taking 5 minutes in between sets. They're scrolling on their phone. They're walking around talking to people. They're not actually putting the effort in and maximizing the time that they have at the gym, but they're still saying, hey, I was at the gym. And you wanna know what? I was that guy. I was that guy for 20 years. I just like telling people that I went to the gym all the time. And I'm sure people would look at me and be like, cool, dude, you go to the gym. It definitely does not look like you go to the gym. So don't be that guy. Be efficient with your time. Listen, all of us have a finite amount of time. Don't waste it while you're at the gym. Have a plan while you're there and lock it in and get the most that you can while you're there. When every set counts and is done to perfection, you do not need that many sets. When your sets are sloppy and you're not pushing yourself, no amount of volume is going to save you. Now let's talk about the barbell trap. Most fitness influencers have the holy lifts, which are your bench press, your squat, your deadlift. I am not saying those are bad exercises. They're great. They're great if you want to get injured. That's what they're great for. They're great for building strength. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna get people that get really mad at me about this, but in all honesty, you are way more likely to get injured if you are trying to push yourself doing bench press, deadlifts, and squats. And if you love barbells and you want to do them, great. Make sure your form is perfect when you're doing them, because mine wasn't perfect, and that's when I blew out my shoulder trying to bench press with not the best form. That's just my opinion on barbells. If you want to do them and you love bench pressing, you love deadlifting, you love doing all that stuff, you can do it. You are just way more likely to get an injury at the gym if you are using a barbell as opposed to dumbbells or machine work. So if you're going to the gym for a long time, how do you know if you are progressing? And the best way to progress while you're working out is, it's just called a progressive overloading. And there's some influencers out there, it's like, yeah, every week you should be adding 5 pounds or 10 pounds to whatever exercise you're doing. That for me is just another recipe for injury. And here is what safe progressive overload actually looks like. So you're doing your sets. You're doing 10 to 15 reps per set. And you start off, you get to that 10. You're doing 10 each time, and that's great. The next one, push for 11. The next one after that, push for 12. Once you hit the 15 reps, then you add weight, and you're not adding 25 pounds. So if you're incline bench pressing 40 pounds, move it up to 45. And then that is how real safe progressive overload really works. Your muscle has already been built, so you're just building on top of what you've already built. You're not putting yourself in such a stressful situation that you start to compromise your form and you start getting into that ego lifting side of going to the gym, and then you get injured. Slow and steady, slow and steady. You don't gotta be crazy. Who cares what everybody else is lifting? I used to care about it all the time. That's what got me injured. Care that you see that progression happening and that you are being consistent while you're going. Don't let your form get compromised because you're trying to keep up with your buddy that you're going with or the person that you see across the gym. Just focus on yourself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Nobody cares how much weight you're lifting. I get way more impressed when I see someone just doing perfect form at the gym. There was an older woman at the gym. She was doing shoulder presses with 10-pound weights, but perfect range of motion. It looked great. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That's what it's supposed to look like. You're not gonna get injured. You're doing it exactly how you're supposed to do it. And this is how you're gonna make progress for years, not just weeks. And this is also, again, how you are going to prevent the likelihood of being injured while you're at the gym. The best programs in the world are completely worthless if you can't get yourself to the gym. It's called the Monday trap, and I lived in this trap for 20 plus years. I'd start on Monday, super motivated, ready to go, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would come around, things were getting busy, life was stressful, and I would stop. And then I would say, I'm gonna start on Monday again. And that happened over and over and over again. And it might not just be for a week or two, it might be like the motivation went away after a month or whatever it was. So if you've ever told yourself, I'll start again on Monday, you have found yourself in the Monday trap. And you might be thinking, oh, I need to want it more, or I need to find more motivation, and that's what I'm missing. And you don't. You've been deciding things all day at work, with your spouse, with your kids. By 6 p.m., that motivation is gone. And honestly, that's not a weakness, that's just human biology. So then how do we avoid the Monday trap? You have to use a calendar block. Gym time is a meeting with yourself, and it is non-negotiable. You keep your gym bag in your truck. You never take it out. It's always there. Always a reminder that you are going to be going to the gym that day. And make sure it's the same time every day. That's what I said. You have to pick a time that you can dedicate yourself to going to the gym at that same time every day. You have to remove the daily decision of when can I fit my hour gym session in? If it's already on the calendar, it's already going to happen. Logging your workouts. Whatever app you want to use, I use the Heavy app. It works amazing. Log all of your workouts. You have to see that progression. You want to be training against yourself. Like I said, you don't want to be looking at what everyone else is lifting and what they're doing. You're training against yourself, and you're beating your former self every time you go to the gym. And so when you build a system like that, motivation becomes irrelevant. It is just, this is what's going to happen. I don't need to be in the right mood, or I don't need to find that inspirational quote. It's just, it is. And so you will be going to the gym. And now here's the thing that people miss about the whole tracking your workouts. It's not a journaling thing. It's so that not only are you competing against yourself, it's telling you what you are lifting that day. You have too many decisions to make throughout the day. Take the guesswork out of everything. You already have it set up, what you're lifting that day. You don't have to think about it. You go do it, and you beat whatever you did the week before. And that is how you're going to maintain and build your muscle. And here's a mistake that I made all the time. If I missed a gym session and I just felt like, well, I missed that gym session, yeah, I'm done for this week, whatever. Don't do that. One missed workout is just one missed workout. Don't let that be the excuse of why you're going to miss your next workout. Always do better, even if you can't perfectly hit every single workout. Because guess what? Perfection does not exist. Consistency does exist. And here's what finally got me to break that whole cycle of, if I missed a workout, I'm gonna just forget about the rest of the week. But we'll get to that at the end. Here's what almost every fitness creator misses about both of these things. A perfect program with no system will get abandoned by Wednesday. The perfect system with the wrong program gets you injured. Most fitness creators give you one, not both. But the 20-year-old running the 40-year-old playbook with the right system, he's the guy who's showing up the gym when he's 50, maintaining his muscle, building muscle. That's the guy I wish I would have been when I was in my 20s. When you train like you're 40 and you're running a real system, that will last a lifetime, instead of one that will fall apart when you hit your 30s. But here's the truth that I had to learn the hard way. The system stack works. The 12 to 16 rule works. The 40-year-old playbook works. But there's one thing that makes all of this work faster: accountability. Just think about your favorite athlete of all time. Think about him. Think about whoever it is. Michael Jordan? Is it Wayne Gretzky? Is it Serena Williams? Is it George St. Pierre? Is it Tiger Woods? Now think of the one thing that every single one of those athletes has in common. And I'm not just talking about freak athletic ability, and I'm not talking about a crazy work ethic. They all have coaches. They all have trainers. Every single one of them. the most driven people that have ever participated in their sport. But they don't do it alone. We can only push ourselves so far. We need someone else to push us to where we can actually get to. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not Michael Jordan, I'm not Serena Williams, I'm not Tiger Woods. I just want to lose 30 pounds. But that's exactly my point. If the most elite athletes need a trainer, need a coach, why would you think you couldn't benefit from one? Hiring a coach is not a weakness. The people that think they can just do it all on their own and they don't need any help tend to be the people that fall into the same cycle that I fell into for years of losing the weight, yay, I did it, gaining it all back. Losing the weight, yay, I did it, gaining it all back. When you know somebody is going to be checking your numbers on Monday, you don't skip Friday. The biggest difference between the guys that succeed long-term and the ones that don't isn't genetics, it isn't effort, it isn't time, and it's definitely not motivation. It's whether you have someone that can hold you accountable to the goals that you have set for yourself. And that is exactly what I do as a one-on-one coach. And to be transparent, listen, I am not a certified trainer. I am not a certified nutritionist. I just know that I had struggled for 20 plus years and I finally figured out a system that worked. And part of that system is having someone that would hold me accountable when I was starting to get weak in my lifts or with my nutrition. And so I build a custom system built around your injuries, your schedule, and your life. Weekly check-ins on your numbers, your training, your nutrition, making sure that you're hitting the correct macros. The type of accountability you've been trying to give yourself for years and failed at. It's a 6-month minimum, and I purposely did 6 months because I only want to work with people who are going to take this seriously. There's a link in the description below if you are the type of person who is looking to actually lose weight, lock in your nutrition, and have someone that's going to be able to help you who has been through what you've been through and knows exactly what it feels like to be overweight, be out of shape, and you need that accountability to be able to hit the goals that you are setting for yourself. And if you've watched this far into the video and you know that the system really isn't the problem, it's the follow through, that's exactly what coaching is for. So don't fall into the Monday trap. Let's get your journey started.